Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. We have got our Instagram Q&A on the 2019 Michigan football program. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe on YouTube to Michigan TV, youtube.com/Michigan TV. I told you last week, Friday, we're like 2,800. If we don't get to 5,000 before the football season, bad stuff's happening. So 220 or so you subscribed since then. Get your ass down there, hit the subscribe button, and we will keep this show rolling all season long. Let's get into it. A lot of questions coming in on the offense from the Instagram Q&A at Michigan Football Report. Ryan42 says, what do you expect from the offense to put up in total yards and points? Which I think is a very interesting question. If you look back, at the history of Jim Harbaugh, history of Michigan football, Harbaugh has had strong offenses when it comes to putting points on the board. And I think with the switch to a hurry-up offense, the switch to a 4-5, 3-4-5 wide receiver spread set, I think these are the numbers you're going to see from Michigan's offense in 2019. So 3 years ago, 2016, Harbaugh's offense put up 40 points a game, which was a modern record. This year, I think we're going to blow it out of the water. 45, over 500 yards a game, and it's going to be slanted with 60% of those yards coming through the air. I have Michigan surpassing the 300-yard passing mark. And I don't think that's just because, all of a sudden Shea Patterson is going to be the best quarterback in the country. These are not numbers, folks, that are going to break records nationally. These aren't going to break Big Ten records. Shea Patterson's not going to be Dwayne Haskins from last year. But what they're going to do is, in obvious passing situations, they're going to pass, but also they're going to run a little bit. They're still going to pass a little bit in situations they would run in the past. I think Shea Patterson will put up 8 more passing attempts per game, at least, over what he did last year, if not more. I've got Michigan coming in at 10 more points a game than they had last year, 45 points a game, up from 35 in 2018. You think back to 2016, with a redshirt sophomore Wilton Spate, Michigan put up 40 points a game. We're averaging over 50 points a game halfway through the season. So certainly not out of the realm of possibilities, I think, with Josh Gattis, pedal to the metal, not running the ball 27 straight times in the second half, that Michigan potentially put up 45 points a game. Before we get into the rest of the Instagram Q&A, can I get a go blue? I'll tell you what, we scroll through the comments in the show, and I just see all you guys typing go blue. Reminds me how wonderful the Michigan Football Report audience is. Thank you for watching, and I'll type a go blue, you type a go blue, and we'll know we're here to take down the evil empire of Ohio State by bombarding the chat with go blue below. And if you type go blue and you want to be repping go blue this football season, I'm here to hook you up. You can bet on Michigan football through our new partner, MyBookie. Use promo code GoBlue. They hooked it up with us just for you guys. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. Woo! 100% deposit bonus. And when you do, send us an email, promo@chatsports.com. And we've got some boxes just sitting there collecting dust of a bunch of large-only Michigan Maize jerseys or the game day Jim Harbaugh centered Block M Jordan brand for both of them. Any size for the Harbaugh shirt, large only for the Maize jersey. We will ship one out to you in a matter of days once you sign up and deposit with MyBookie. Email us. We'll get your address, get all your information, send one out to you. So go ahead and take advantage, because once they are gone, they are gone. And we are hooking you up right now. Keep it rolling. What is the word on DPJ's injury? I think this is the item with Michigan football right now, the story that has the most fake news of any story out there. The blog boys are telling you he's healthy. My sources were saying, hey, he's not healthy. And maybe I got a little jaded by the blog boys being so adamant about it, but came across some really interesting information in the past few days. He has been absent, down in Peoples-Jones, from 7-on-7 drills with Shea Patterson, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, the rest of the wide receivers all summer so far. If they haven't seen, no one's seen him on the field as far as I know, and we're talking about coming up 9-10 days before the start of fall camp. So here's what I've got for the starting wide receivers. I think Michigan will be in a 3 wide receiver set at least 50% of the time with Nico Collins, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Tariq Black. When they do that 3 wide receiver set, I think DPJ will be the guy on the inside, let Tariq Black and Nico Collins go outside, a little bigger bodied players. DPJ a little shiftier, a little quicker underneath. When they go 4 wide receiver set, he may be on the outside, maybe on the inside, but Mike Sainristil will be your starter there, getting some of those underneath routes. But I've got big stat projections for DPJ. 71 catches, which will be second on the team. Lead the team, 1,050 yards, which will be second on the team to Nico Collins, who I think will get a lot of the downfield passes. We'll get that, that average that he had last year per catch, which was really high. Will continue to do so. So these are my wide receiver starting stat projections for this coming season. DPJ, Nico Collins, I've got them both over 1,000 yards. But folks, be a little concerned about this here. Your guy misses the entire spring, doesn't go to South Africa on a 7-8 day African safari, all paid for by Michigan boosters, and now has not been able to return to practice, to 7-on-7, these unmonitored practices, but really kind of monitored practices by Michigan football. And Nico Collins is getting all the passes. Tariq Black is taking it to the defensive backs. Mike Sainristil, no DPJ, as far as I've heard. We are on July 23rd, so be a little worried. Next Friday, if we start hearing rumblings that he's not 100%, this thing could lead into the season. Jim Harbaugh said he's good to go, but I have learned the hard way before not to always trust what college football and any football coach say, because a lot of times they're trying to hide injuries, hide depth chart things. That's the word. So keep an eye on it, and we're going to know more next Friday if he shows up. Full participation in practice. Folks, get us to 5,000 subscribers, please. We mentioned to start the show 3021 as we're airing this here on Tuesday, starting the day here on Tuesday, 3,021. Get us to 5,000. Well more than 2,000 you will watch this show, so I just need a couple thousand more subscribers. We can keep this thing rolling over the next month throughout the 2019 football season. I'm fighting the bureaucrats and the paper pushers here at Chat Sports. I broke out on my own Michigan Football Report, our own channel. I need your support. Stick with me. I bring it to you every day with all the inside information. Just hit that subscribe button. No one gives a shit about subscribers except the big fat cats at Chat Sports. They're making me get to 5,000, so help me out. Keep it rolling here. Dylan McCaffrey, Shea Patterson, question coming in, and the questions are going to hit a fever pitch after Jim Harbaugh, put out the word that 2 quarterbacks will play in every game. I'm coming in from Antonio for Life. Do you think McCaffrey will win the starting job at some point this season? Then we've got my man. You want to take a look at that one? Sure, go ahead. My man, pay the troll tax, Rick Dunaway. I guess just his account is just a great look at Americana. If you can screenshot that, you can follow him. Rick's an entertaining guy, but comes up with some theories here. Rick's, thanks for tweeting this one out. I replied to it. Dylan McCaffrey will be the starting quarterback for game 1. Heard it here first. A few humorous replies, someone, and heard it here last. I respect Rick. I don't think this is true, okay? I don't think that Dylan McCaffrey will start at all. I think Shea Patterson, we'll see here, has ridiculously more experience than Dylan McCaffrey. Dylan McCaffrey was in for just a handful of plays last year, 0 career starts, 2 touchdown passes. Shea's 23 career starts, started as a true freshman in the SEC, started as a true sophomore, and was leading the conference SEC in passing when he got hurt halfway through his 7th game of the year. So Dylan McCaffrey's stats, you see the big runs, you see a couple nice passes in the spring game, but he attempted 15 passes last year, folks. You're not going to sit a guy who started 3 straight seasons, 2 in the SEC and 1 in the Big Ten, for Dylan McCaffrey. I think he'll get on the field, like Jim Harbaugh said. I do think the whole both guys will play in every game, and we don't know, if he's, we don't know who the starter is. If Harbaugh hears that, you'll probably hear that. Like some other coaches, Ohio State, Oklahoma. It's not because they don't know who the starter is. It's going to be Shea Patterson. It's more or less guys can still transfer and be playing for another school in a week or two when they start their fall camp. So don't always believe what the football coach say. Shea Patterson will be your starter. I think McCaffrey will get snaps. They don't want anybody transferring, but it's not going to be a Drew Henson, Tom Brady situation. All right, if you're not following us on Instagram, we need 83 more of you guys to follow us so I can bring on my new part-time co-host, respected member of the Michigan media. Some people who say, James, this whole new media thing's not for me. What are the mainstream guys saying? So I've heard you out. I listen to you. I respect your opinion, some of you. So I'm going to bring a respected member of the Michigan media. They said, if you get to 1,500 followers, we've got the budget to bring this guy on. So follow us now, and I will promise you, I'll keep the account private. Whenever I have a good scoop, I'll do 1 or 2 of those a week over the next month or so you won't miss out on anything in fall camp that maybe we don't want to put on the show just yet. And with that, I want to ask you guys a question. Thinking about this season of optimism for Michigan, some people say they're favored to win the Big Ten. Some people say, hey, best chance in the Big Ten to make the college football playoff? If they win the college football playoff, should they visit the White House? And I only ask these things because I'd love to see the debate that goes on in the comment section below. Type Y for yes, type N for no. If Michigan wins the national title, should they visit the White House in January of 2020, visit Donald Trump, have some Chick-fil-A or whatever it was that he served to Clemson last year? Answer below. I'll get in there and give you my opinion here later today. Next question from go.blue85, over-under on Michigan's points per game this season. If you're not familiar with gambling, how sports betting work, and over-under means, here's kind of the middle of it. You make the prediction as a bettor or a predictor what you think Michigan will be, over this amount or under. I am going to put it at, 40 a game? Is that what it was, Brett? 40 a game is what I'm going to have as the over-under. So let's take a look at what that would mean for Jim Harbaugh's offenses in the past. 35 in 2018, 25 in 2017, just an embarrassing offensive performance by that team. 40 and 16, and then 31.5 points in 2015. The back half of that year, though, much higher after some struggles offensively, getting things going in 2015. So I've put the number at 40 as the over-under. I want to know from you guys, will Michigan average over 40 points per game, including any postseason games, bowl games, the entire year? Type O for under, or O for over, U for under. O for over, U for under. What you guys think? I've told you my stats prediction before, so I'm going to say over, but 45 points is a lot of points per game, what I predicted, if you struggle and score 17 against Wisconsin or 13 against Penn State or anything crazy like that. That means you got to score 65 or 80, in a game to kind of overcome some of those. So it's going to be tough, but I think they will run up the score and not sit on the ball late in games like has been the MO for Michigan, at least my entire lifetime. Next question, Selman9, what are your predictions for Shea this year? I'm thinking his stats will break Michigan records. And I agree with you in some point, in some respects. I don't necessarily think Shea Patterson's the best quarterback in the history of the Michigan football program. And his stats last year were much lower than what I expected and what I predicted around this time last year. But next year, I think it's going to be a big time year. Or this year, in about 6 weeks from now. Shea Patterson is going to have the opportunity to throw the ball downfield, get some of the yards per catch, yards after catch that he didn't really get from his receivers in 2018, because it seemed like Michigan was always throwing routes when Shea Patterson was throwing shorter routes that were taking miracles for guys to catch, like 8-yard turnarounds at the sidelines that took Nico Collins or Donovan Peoples-Jones all their athleticism to make the catch. So I think his stats will break records this year. I think he will break the yards record, and he'll break the touchdowns record as well. And to be frank, it's not going to take much to break the yards record. This is, frankly, a rather pedestrian list. There's schools like Oklahoma and plenty of others that these numbers, these five guys here, 3,300 yards down to 2,700 for Chad Henne, that this wouldn't even make their top 10, right? They wouldn't even make their top 10. Oklahoma's at a 4,000-yard passer, I think 4 straight years. Michigan's never had anybody above, 3,300 yards? So it's not going to take much in the modern offense to break that 3,300 yards a game mark. So I think he'll break the touchdowns record of 26, 28, whatever, 25, and the 3,300 yards passing will definitely break that one. But I want to know from you guys. Do you have the same confidence in Shea Patterson that I do in Josh Gattis' offense? Will he throw for over 30 touchdown passes in 2019? Comment something like, yes, 36 for Shea, or whatever you want. Predict the number. If you say it's no, is he going to lose a starting job? Will the offense not be as good as you think? Put the reason why in no below. I'll get in there and kind of debate back and forth with you guys. All right, Ryan Burchett. Who will be the starting running back when the Wolverines play Ohio State November 30th in Ann Arbor, the Saturday after Thanksgiving? Pretty interesting, set of circumstances that came out of Big Ten Media Days last week. I think that the Game 1 starter will be Christian Turner, but Jim Harbaugh, known for his honesty and never leading you astray with comments like, I don't expect any turnover in the staff this year after every offseason, truthful comments like that, says Tru Wilson is our starter. I've got Tru Wilson as the number 3 running back. Even for the opening game against Middle Tennessee. I think Christian Turner is going to get the nod. I think Jim Harbaugh likes to put things out there in the media to motivate guys sometimes, although I don't necessarily think naming Tru Wilson the starter is very motivating for anybody. But whether or not, Tru Wilson takes the first snap or not, I consider the starter to be the guy who gets the most carries, the guy who gets the crunch time carries, if that means anything. So I've got Tru Wilson, the starter. I've got Christian Turner, the starter from Middle Tennessee State. But 11 games later against Ohio State, I've got this man, Zach Charbonnet, a 6'2", 6'3", 240-pound animal as a true freshman, which, is going to be a tough position to, be a true freshman starting running back. It's certainly not something that Michigan does every year, but it's not something that's new or groundbreaking in college football. If you look around the country, Michigan certainly has had their share of true freshman starting running backs. So Zach Charbonnet will be the guy for 2019 by the end of the year. I bet he'll take over by game 4, 5, 6 as the guy getting 15-plus carries a game. So I've got Charbonnet as my starting running back, a guy who will start as a true freshman. And the last true freshman to make a huge impact as a star at Michigan, 2004, Mike Hart. Seen some debate about this recently on Twitter. Who is the better running back? 4-year starter Mike Hart, who got injured for a majority of the 2005-2007 season? Or was it Doak Walker winner the year before he got there, Chris Perry, best running back in the country in 2003? So type Mike Hart, MH if you think it's Mike Hart, type CP if Chris Perry, and maybe just say, maybe not with a better career, but you need a running back for one game to beat the Buckeyes. Mike Hart never did it. Go ahead and type MH or CP, which running back you'd want on the field for the Wolverines if you need one for a single game. Next up from Ben Purcell on Instagram at bpurcell24. Ben, appreciate the question here. Always like to hear what you have to say. Has there been any action in the race for the starting right tackle spot? The blog boys and the pay sites and people don't know what the hell they're talking about. I call them the dishonest Michigan media. They're going to tell you that it's a close battle for Andrew Stueber and Jalen Mayfield. I've also seen some wild, crazy predictions out there from some of these untalented radio guys saying, well, maybe all Big Ten left tackle John Runyon would move to guard to make room for Mayfield and Stueber. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. I think it's going to be this guy, Jalen Mayfield, as my starting right tackle. I could be wrong. I was wrong last year about this, but what I saw from Andrew Stueber against Ohio State and against Florida in the bowl game and other snaps he had is just not good enough to be a starting lineman for the University of Michigan. And in limited time, I thought Jalen Mayfield really showed well last year. He's got the pedigree. He certainly has the size, the athleticism that Stueber does not have. So you're going to hear when we get into cliche season, which is coming up in a matter of days, folks. We are only 10 days away from peak cliche season where every guy is in the best shape of his life. The team is coming together, 11-1 records, and all that is being predicted and thrown out to you. The offense is unstoppable. You're going to hear all that stuff from the media. One thing don't fall for is that there is position battles at every position. I think it's going to be Jalen Mayfield for sure at right tackle. We told you about this deal earlier in the show. MyBookie, the new presenting sponsor of the Michigan Football Report, the best Michigan football show, I've been told, on the internet. And we're also hooking you up with the best deal, 100% deposit bonus to bet on sports this football season, and a Michigan football maize jersey in size large, or the Harbaugh game day shirt, both Jordan brand, both legit. You sign up and deposit with MyBookie, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Use that promo code GoBlue. 100% deposit bonus. Email us afterwards, promo@chatsports.com. We'll get a little bit of information, name, account number, address, and we'll ship that bad boy out to you within a matter of days. Next one up, HT Jones 111 on Instagram. Say safe to say that the idiot who posted the Shea Patterson tweet is getting hit with a libel suit. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But let's rewind here a little bit. Thanks for the question. I was leading the charge. I am a social justice warrior of Michigan football. You come at Shea Patterson, baby. You better be ready for the fire of James Yoder, because this is what this son of a bitch, CFB quotes, says on Instagram. So he puts out this fake tweet, and all these crazy websites pick it up and write articles about it, trying to make Shea look bad. But I talked to the inside sources. I was tweeting with the inner circle of the Shea Patterson family, or texting, DMing, not Chris Broussard texting. I was DMing, and it said, this week's CFB quote says, "Did Shea Patterson mean to tweet this from his burner account?" And this is the tweet that they screenshot. It wasn't a real tweet, of course, saying, "Hey, Shea just tweeted this and deleted it." Basically trying to say, hey, Shea's got burner accounts to defend himself, and he was accidentally logged into his real account that's got the verified symbol, and saying Patterson's going to be the best QB in the conference. This was in reference to a ranking that says Justin Fields was the best quarterback in the Big Ten. Yada, yada, yada. Fields is overrated, and Shea would have won the Heisman. So, in theory, if you grab it and I was caught off guard by a second, I'll admit that, but once I found out it was fake news, I came after this guy, and I have a call to action for all of you guys, okay? You can't let this stuff happen on the internet, and Twitter doesn't know what's right and what's wrong unless we tell them. So go to Twitter right now, CFB quotes, and just report the account and say something like they've threatened the sanctity of Michigan football, whatever you want to say, but let's get this account completely shut down because they're pulling this shit all the time, and I'm sick of people falling for it because it's making players look bad. Go ahead, report them. Let's get them shut down. You and me together, we can do it. Believe me on that, and Twitter and Michigan football will be better for it throughout the course of time. Before we go, I want to ask you guys to make sure you follow me on Twitter. My deal to you, as always, I haven't anybody take me up on this yet. Money back guarantee. I would say I'm one of the best guys out there for bringing you the facts, FACK, on Twitter for Michigan football, and you will not regret it. Thanks so much for watching today's Michigan Football Report Instagram Q&A. If you want to keep watching more Michigan Football Report videos, I got you hooked up right here. And if you haven't yet, get us to 5,000 subscribers. Hit this button right here. Hit it. Go Blue.